How's it going, everybody? Welcome to our fifth digital live of 2026. I'm Zach. I'm a field manager here at the Digital Summer Clinic. I'm here with Lale Walker, my co-host, also field manager of the clinic. By the way, applications just opened, so go apply if you're interested. Go watch the YouTube videos. Go learn more about us and set your application up right. But anyway, for the episode tonight, we are happy to be joined by Eastern Michigan University's Dean of the College of Business, Dean Amy Hietapelto.
So thank you for being here, Amy, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Look forward to this conversation. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll get to them during our Q&A section. So do you mind telling us in the audience a little more about yourself and your professional experience?
Absolutely. I'd be glad to. And thank you so much for inviting me. This is so fun. I'm delighted to be included in tonight's episode. So just a little bit about me. I'm first generation, first in my family to go to college, and my father was a freighter captain. So I grew up in South Florida. He wanted to golf all winter, but I always came up on the Great Lakes in the summertime, and I've actually been on the freighters. So my first two degrees were from Michigan State University, far away from my parents as possible. And then I went to work in corporate. My bachelor's is in psych and my MBA is in marketing. And then I went to work for companies like IBM, Merrill Lynch, and Smith Barney for close to 9 years in professional sales before I went back to get a PhD in org studies at the University of Minnesota. I've been working in higher ed for close to 30 years, if you count my teaching time. And I've been in higher ed administration for close to 20 years. And this is my third deanship.
That's fantastic. And Eastern Michigan is happy to have you, especially the College of Business. So yeah, you have decades of experience at this point in both professional and higher ed. So that's super cool. And today we just have a few questions. So us and everybody watching can get to know you a little bit better. So the first question we have today is, how has college and business in general kind of evolved from when you first entered the workforce and higher education?
Oh my goodness. Thank you for asking that. You know, technology has changed dramatically, and you have to be innovative. You have to tolerate ambiguity. You have to be responsive to change. I was just chatting earlier that when I started college as a freshman, we used a slide rule, and calculators were illegal. It was considered cheating if you used a calculator. By the time I graduated from my undergrad, we were allowed to use calculators, but not ones that did anything complex, just simple math. Kind of think of it like AI right now, that in some areas it's still considered cheating if you use AI, but really it's a tool, just like the calculators were a tool. So when I started, we didn't have the internet. We did not have email. Actually, when I didn't have email until I was working on my PhD. So when I went to work for IBM, just to show you how old I am, the PCs were just coming out. I sold mid-sized mainframe computers, and we didn't have email. We had paper in our inboxes that was stacked like that every day. So it was a very different environment. We've really seen business transform by the ability to have the internet, by the ability to share information electronically, and to do the kinds of things that we're doing today. None of this was possible back then. PCs were actually kind of frowned upon when they first came out when I was working for IBM. I was already teaching and done with my PhD program when cell phones became a thing. There were no cell phones in the mid-late 1990s, or at least not available for the general use. So the learning platforms that you have for your classes, that's all new. The ability to have multiple modalities when you get an education, that's all new. That was accelerated with the pandemic, of course, but none of that happened. It was all face-to-face. I remember working on my dissertation, and I was one of the first people that was sending files back and forth to my committee. So that would have been in the late 90s. That was not very commonplace, and the files had to be in the exact same format as the people that you were sending it to. So huge technological changes. I would encourage you to innovate, to embrace that uncertainty and ambiguity, and do all you can to stay current and abreast of the new technologies. That helps a little bit.
Thanks for sharing that. I love hearing how like much technology has evolved from the past to now, because it's so crazy to think about. So for our next question is, what do you think about some of the opportunities around campus, like the Digital Summer Clinic, that helps connect students with careers and their futures?
The Digital Summer Clinic is amazing. It has such a great reputation that we have students wanting internships from other universities and even from other universities out of state. It is an incredible opportunity to work with a peer and to help these startup companies that are being funded and supported by Spark really get off the ground. My belief is if you go to work for a large company, there are a lot of benefits, but if you go to work actually for a smaller company and a startup, you get to do a lot more up front, and you'll have a lot more responsibility and autonomy than you might necessarily have in a larger company. So this is the perfect internship. You have an opportunity to get a wide range of experiences, really have a significant impact. And I'm going to say one more thing. I remember when I would teach the Managing Change class, my students would say, well, I'm never going to be a change leader. And I go, but you are, because in some cases you may not be a manager, but you're going to be the one implementing the newest technology. And so you're going to have an opportunity in these companies to really be a change leader and help them get up to speed on implementing the newest digital technologies in their company. And that's actually a really exciting thing. I'd highly encourage everybody who is even remotely interested to take a look and think about whether or not this is a good experience for you. And I would add one more thing before our next question, which is when you take an internship, think of it as an extended job interview. They're assessing you for 3 months or 6 months, and you're assessing them. Is this a good fit for me? Is this something that I want to do? Absolutely, though, it's an amazing opportunity. And that's why we pull students in from all over the state and actually across the country.
Yeah, I really like what you said about how when you go to work with a startup, you kind of get to do
right.
You just get to move the needle, really. You're just not. It's not like you're being like given busy work or anything. You get to kind of construct your own plan. And we've talked with numerous interns on this very Digital Live program that have said the exact same thing. We had people coming up with marketing plans, crafting websites, doing all kinds of things that you just can't do at other places. And I'll add this, kind of piggybacking off of your first point with the evolution of technology. We've grown up with this stuff and we can add it to their startup. So it's just a really cool dynamic to like, you're really adding value. It's not about like, oh, I'm just here to learn. No, you're adding value with your skills that you already have. And I think when like people our age realize that like they have like really good skills, not just like, what you're learning in class actually matters, and like your hobbies, they matter. Like it's not you're not just posting on social media, you're learning marketing, you're doing that type of stuff. So that was kind of a long-winded way of saying it's just a really good opportunity and you get to be innovative. So yeah.
Yes.
Our third question is kind of, okay, all this internship stuff is great. How do students get it? Like, what advice do you have for students that are looking to get internships in 2026? And how should they like stand out from their peers?
Okay, great question. It is really critically important for you to build those professional development skills and those soft skills. So it's expected that you're going to learn the disciplinary material as you're taking your courses. But those outside of classroom, those co-curriculars or extracurricular experiences are vitally important. Being able to have strong communication skills face-to-face as well as interpersonally, being able to work successfully in the team, having an outstanding resume, an outstanding cover letter, great interviewing skills. All of these are things that are outside the normal class environment. There are options available for you through Career Center, through the business school, and you need to take advantage of them. And there are things that are available through the Digital Engagement Center. Take advantage of them. That's how you're going to stand out and differentiate yourself. I'll give you an example. I've been out visiting with companies, and they're saying that with this generation of students, there's some things that they're amazing at, but the things that really stand out is if you have outstanding soft skills. those interpersonal skills. So I need you to take advantage of every opportunity to build those. This is so important that as the dean of the business school, I am looking at putting in place a program in professional development. We've already got a prototype. We hope to kick it off in the fall. It would be mandatory for all students before they graduate. And it would be that you go through a series of these experiences that are really important in differentiating you and setting you apart. So, for example, you really want to have an internship or an internship-like experience. You want to work on real live projects for real companies, either within your class or through your internship. You want to compete in, you want to go to conferences and network, meet people in the industry and really get abreast of the changes in the industry. You want to compete in competitions wherever possible. Take advantage of leadership opportunities as they come available. If you can share a club, if you can run a conference with your peers, all of these things will differentiate you from your peers and your competitors and help you stand apart. So it's professional development, significant professional development over your entire collegiate experience will make you stand out.
Yeah, I love that focus on professional development because I know at the Digital Summer Clinic, honestly, because we have these things called all hands meetings where the entire team meets every Thursday, and it's basically just a networking event for like you get 9 of them in the summer, and then you can go to like other events that they put on throughout the year, like the digital marketing workshop, and that's how you grow like your network too. It's like I think like especially coming from like the like classroom side of things, it's easy just to show up and go to class and mindlessly kind of get your degree with A's and B's, but it's kind of like pushing yourself to like actually get involved with like stuff, and that's what changes things in my opinion.
So take that initiative, be proactive, look for those opportunities. We're going to work very hard in the College of Business to make sure you have as many of those opportunities to take advantage of as possible. But you need to then complete it and do that. Show that initiative. So you'll have plenty of opportunities with the Digital Summer Clinic and with the Center for Digital Engagement. And I cannot encourage you enough to get involved. It's really critical.
I love the direction that the College of Business is going. This is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, so okay, now we're going to get to the Q&A section. Kim Barker, our what's it called? Professor at Eastern and mentor, has a question. So she's asking, Dean Amy, what has been your favorite surprise so far?
Wow, that's an interesting question. You know, the Center for Digital Engagement has been one of my favorite surprises. I've always wanted an entrepreneurship center, and we have one here, and they're doing amazing things also, which is really important for the ecosystem of the region. But I never had a Center for Digital Engagement, and I was fascinated and wanted to know, and we do incredible things. We need more visibility in terms of what we do because it's getting there, it's getting more well known, but this is really a powerhouse and not a lot of other schools are having anything like this. This is a huge differentiator for you as a College of Business student at Eastern Michigan University. Dive in, get involved. This is something that I haven't seen anywhere else. So that was probably my biggest, most favorite surprise.
Yeah, I love that because like what sold me on Eastern, just to like be honest, was the digital focus. I didn't know what the Digital Center for Engagement, whatever, I didn't know what that was at the time when I was applying. I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. And I want to go in, like I knew I wanted to do marketing, but that sold me because I'm like, digital, this is where marketing's going anyway.
Yeah.
This school is going to get me there. And I didn't know about all like the clinic and all that stuff. I didn't know about that, but I knew like this could actually be really good. But yeah, I think just having like a focus on that, like that's where business is going there. Like we have to like colleges have to like step up for that, and Eastern's already ahead. So I think that's great. Another question we have from Alakrita, another mentor, is what advice do you have for students who are hesitant to reach out for professional development? Yeah, that's a good point because I know some will be like nervous to like send resumes or whatever. So how should they start?
Well, we're going to help you by giving you a whole set of options and then telling you you have to do a certain number of things each year. And so, for example, the badge that on LinkedIn that many classes are completing, I want to make sure that that's paid for and that all students have the opportunity to do that. So that'll force you to do that. But beyond that, there's going to be a lot of other opportunities where you can pick and choose based on your unique interests. So we'll start giving you a portfolio and a menu of choices. Talk to your professor, talk to your department head, ask them, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about this, talk to your advisor. Down the road, I'd actually like to have a director of engagement that'll work directly with students, but we're not there yet. First, we have to get the program up and running, and then I have to look for that. But, that's part of the networking. Ask the director, ask Bud. What do you think? I see this opportunity. Is this something that would be helpful for me? Ask your faculty. Ask Kim, ask Alan Krita, what advice do you have? You need to be proactive, but you also need to be clear about what it is you're interested in. And don't be afraid to shy away and say, I don't know something, but this is an area, a gap, this is an opportunity. Think of it as an opportunity. This is an opportunity. I'm afraid to talk in public. What do you suggest, right? I'm not comfortable networking. What do you suggest? Are there some activities or opportunities? Talk to me, talk to the associate dean. I mean, you need to reach out and talk to people about what and get their thoughts and ideas. And then from that, start putting together your own professional development plan that's going to get you where you want to go. Because you're going to have to continue that when you work in business too. Talk to your manager, talk to your colleagues, talk to your peers. Take initiative and be proactive.
Yeah, that's just great advice. I think it's just easy. Like I said, it's easy for Eastern students just to get stuck in the graduation route and not like take advantage of that stuff. Like we're around professors who have been in this for years, decades, and we need to actually like see what we have around us. So I think that's incredible.
Related to that, I'm going to do my best to get companies in front of you in your classes. I'm already working on increasing the number of what I call company days, which is bringing real companies in and getting them in your classes and talking with you about what the job entails and what they expect and what they're looking for when they hire interns, what they're looking for when they hire people. So I have a role to do, and I commit to you that we're going to be having more opportunities to bring executives and business professionals into class. We're also going to have more outside of class opportunities. So you need to do both. But I'll bring them to you too.
Yeah. I'm sure they would appreciate that as well. Yeah, that's amazing. So yeah, I really appreciate your wisdom and your vision for the College of Business today, hearing about all of that. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned into our digital live tonight.
And a big thank you to you, Amy. I as well enjoyed hearing your insights, and I'm really excited to see where the College of Business goes in the future. So be sure for everyone to stay up to date on our digital lives. Our next one will be next Monday on February 16th at 5:30 p.m. So I hope to see you all there. Bye.